Just when you were getting a little worried about the Philadelphia Eagles, yeah, they take down a pretty good team in the New Orleans Saints. 15-12 was the final score, and this is one of those games where I think it was like 3-0 heading into the fourth quarter, and we're just kind of like, really? And I think if I'm not mistaken, it was 6-3, 9-6 at some point. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like very much like a 1940s score. This wasn't a very eventful game, but Eagles pulled it out, won it 15-12, 2-1 on the season, and making some noise here early on as they look to potentially win the NFC East. Even though I got to be honest, like this team is looking really good, and I think this team could be special. And I think that's something that we're going to touch on a lot more in this video. But Jalen Hurts did not play well. Saquon Barkley, though, just coming out and getting it done. I love this game overall. And going through the winners and losers here, I feel like the Eagles are on a spot where they could be doing so much better, but the fact that they're still winning games when this offense clearly has not hit the ground is just, it's fantastic. But winners and losers for the Eagles are the Flyers and Flops, that is. Let's run through it real quick. So I'm going to put Jalen Hurts in another category here a little bit later on. So we're going to start out with Saquon Barkley. Like, let's be real. He's the stir that stirs this Eagles offense. Like 17 carries, $147, 2 touchdowns, had that long touchdown run late in the game there. Also had, I believe it was 4 catches for 9 yards, which not great, not bad. You'll take it overall. Dallas Goedert, 10 for $170, looked really good. He's your number one tight end. Like, he's a stud, representing South Dakota State out there. Devonta Smith, 7 for $79. Again, I think it's one of those things where he very much is liking the idea of being that number one right now while A.J. Brown is out, which it is what it is there. But this defense, in a game where it was going to be a stalemate, and we all kind of knew that, you got to give props to it because they answered the call. We were talking about, are we worried about this defense? Is it, it clearly is very talented, but is it going to rise to the occasion? This defense did it. It went up against a team that was scoring 40 points a game through the first 2 weeks of the season. I know it was against the Panthers, but they also did it against the Dallas Cowboys. So there's that. Zach Bond led the way with 13 tackles. Also, C.J. Gardner-Johnson had 8 tackles. And Kobe Dean had himself a game as well, 8 tackles. But, Jordan Davis had a sack. Reed Blankenship had a pick. So, overall, Zach Bond, he's your first winner here, just flying around the play and making plays all over for this defense. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, it's usually not good when a corner/safety has 8 tackles, but the Saints didn't really go off, like not really until the fourth quarter. And even then, it was kind of meh. Nakobe Dean flying around making plays, definitely another winner for me in my mind. I think that he's a guy that really good to see him getting his opportunity to start. Jordan Davis with his sack, 4 tackles, really setting the tone up front. Also, Jalen Carter didn't look too bad. I feel like this defensive line for the Eagles is, I think this is a step in the right direction of this Eagles team showing that they can be very, very good. Reed Blankenship had a couple of tackles and an interception as far as that goes. And like I said, this is one of those teams that can do a lot of different things. And I feel like defensively, they really showed up yesterday against I think it's a very good Saints team, especially offense at the end of the day. But overall, like the defense, I don't really have any gripes about the rest of it. The defense played very well. Derek Carr was a shell of himself. Alvin Kamara really, he had 87 yards, but he touched the ball 26 times just running the ball. And then, yes, also had 3 catches for 40 yards. But, the run defense really stepped up. Yeah, were there big runs? Yeah, it's going to happen when you run the ball 30 times. But love and respect for this defense. Now is for flops or losers. I got to put Jalen Hurts here because 29 of 38 for 311, no touchdowns and a pick. So the pick, it is what it is. But overall, this offense could be so good if Jalen Hurts can just play up to his potential. Now, again, I know it's the beginning of the season, so there's plenty of time here, but Jalen Hurts needs to step it up throughout the rest of the season here. And it's not like the Eagles don't have talent. Obviously, yes, A.J. Brown did miss this game, and I know what it's like missing your number one, but you also got Dallas Goedert, who looked really good. You got Devonta Smith. You got Saquon. And despite all these weapons, Jalen Hurts just, I don't know, he's just not as playing as efficient as himself. Like, he's just clearly not himself. A.J. Brown is clearly a big target for this team, which I understand, and it makes sense and everything, but Jalen Hurts, you got to put him in the flop category for now because he is capable of so much more. It would be one thing if he showed it, like if he hadn't shown us that he could be a dominant player, but as he's playing right now, he is not playing well. and you got to call a spade a spade. And so for right now, I put him as definitely being one of those guys that is a flop at this current moment in time. Also, a flop for me is, who's stepping at wide receiver 3? Like, I understand Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. You got those guys. But, I mean, Britton Covey had a catch for 11 yards. Like, Paris Campbell, 2 for 13. You also had Kenneth Gainwell, the running back, 2 for 12. Like, who is going to step up? Like, Jahan Dotson, 2 for 8. We're waiting for the Jahan Dotson come-out game, right? Like, I'm really waiting for this guy to come out and do his thing, and it's getting a little frustrating, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's just, we need a number 3 wide receiver. We need somebody else to really step up and be that guy on the outside or on the inside, for that matter, that can make these plays, and we just didn't see it. And ultimately, I think that's really what's holding back this offense is that, yes, you've got A.J. Brown, you've got Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, all these guys, but we need that third wide receiver that can come out and make plays. Defensively, I don't really have a lot of losers or flops, but overall, I would like to see more of the edge players, specifically guys like Josh Sweat, specifically guys like Nolan Smith Jr. I know that, there's pressures and all that kind of stuff, but we need to see cold, hard sacks. Even though, again, Derek Carr looked like a shell of himself. I'm not saying that they didn't play well. I'm just saying that we need to get them on the ground, baby. Like, this defense is too talented not to be going out there and getting at least 3-4 sacks a week. So, overall, a win is a win. Eagles, Flyers, Flops, getting it done. Hey, 2-1, getting it done. It's good to see, because the Eagles are a very talented team and took down a quality opponent in the New Orleans Saints. And I think that this could be replicable. Like, one of those things where, yes, Saquon Barkley can get the ball 20 times a game. Jalen Hurts is not even playing his best football right now. And so, for that reason, I think that, the Eagles, as far as winners and losers or Flyers and flops, you got to be excited. But overall, let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.